I'm now going to read a few poems if I have some time. And I want to thank Robin Hirsch and Angela Verga for allowing us to read here at the Cornelia Street Cafe. Now we've been sitting and listening to debates that seem to go back to when? The age of Lincoln, the founding of the Republic, maybe the building of the road to Canterbury. No, the debates have go back maybe to the birth of Christ or the Garden of Eden. And after listening to all these debates, this is a response. It's called blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've heard it before from the pinheads on flat screen. They call it a debate. Blab, blab. It's all about gab. Issues, they say. But I can't open a Bumblebee tuna fish can without slitting my wrist, or open anything without a Swiss Army knife or a machete. Yeah, that's why I turn off the on button or turn on the off button. Who can tell these days? And water my philodendra, feed my guppies, and speak to my parakeet. At least he makes sense, repeats what I speak. Yeah, I've heard it before you were born. The gladiators with forked tongues, the smoothest python young bucks. Listen, bud, these guys are shills for the upper crust. Give me sky in the pie. Give me my plant, my fish, my bird. I can tell an egg from a turd. I know, a word you haven't heard since the age of Coolidge. Hey man, where's my watering can? Right. Thank you. Now this again is after months and months of debates and hearing the voice of the people. This is called The People, the People. The people, God bless them, God forgive them. The people fly, the people die, the people need not to know. The people send their children into the maelstrom. The people love their boys with limbs, without limbs, fling them into the mouth of Moloch out of love, of love. We built it, they chant. Without help, they chant. From the ground up, they chant. We took this country because it was empty and it was ours. If people crawl somewhere, they were meant to crawl. They want to crawl. The people stuff themselves into tenements and testaments for their sons and daughters, for big car, big house, big life. They strive, stay alive, dream of last stab, triple play, Hail Mary, bromides and replacement parts, Jack of diamonds, Queen of hearts. The people pray for open field. The people pray for gospel of wealth in the crook of their elbow. The people say you can weave straw into gold. The people say you betray if you say cannot. The people say you are a canker, lice in the hair. If you say cannot, you are a plant, a plot. The people say you must disappear. The people mix bromides and bouquets, carnival and cant. The people exorcise us and we. The people sanctify me and I. They are spiders weaving testaments of I, unfurl filaments beyond the sky. The people, God bless them. God forgive them. Thank you. The next poem is called The Boys of Kandahar, which is a city in southeast Afghanistan. Now, George Carlin pointed out in World War I, when the boys were affected by battle, they called it shell shock. In World War II, they called it battle fatigue. It went from 2 syllables to 4 syllables. Now it's post-traumatic stress disorder. 8 syllables. It sounds less threatening, more sanitized. I dedicate this to the boys of Kandahar, city, southeast Afghanistan. The boys of Kandahar will eat your liver raw, squeeze your balls to croon, your guts to the rancid moon, then piss around the stars, the boys of Kandahar. The boys of Kandahar come to the land of tar, twist the neck of a loon, then sing a rancid tune, piss on the floor of the bar, the boys of Kandahar. The boys of Kandahar staggered far from home, east of Babylon, swagger past the sun, pissing past the stars, the boys of Kandahar. The boys of Kandahar grind their bellies to the hips of the hags of Kandahar for a clip of ear or lips, then chop them up for tips, the boys from Kandahar. The boys of Kandahar, here in the land of tar, will scratch your sinew for a dime, mix your innards in the slime, grind your guts to tar, the boys of Kandahar. The boys of Kandahar have wandered far, loins stuck in stench and shit, lungs gagging on the spit, their crucifix chopped up for stars, the boys of Kandahar. Now, this is called Terror Alert, East 11th Street, New York City, February 11, 2003. As you remember, there were terror alerts. I think they're still going on. They're yellow, they're orange, they're red. This happened to me on East 11th Street. I was flossing my teeth, and someone got out of an unmarked car, said he was a policeman, and asked me questions, and this is what ensued. Terror Alert, East 11th Street, New York City, February 11, 2003. He appears, silver badge glinting on black armband. Can I see what you have in your hands? It's dental floss. Oh, you're flossing your teeth. Yeah, I'm flossing. On the street, here on 11th Street. Yeah. Why? Got pieces of meat between my teeth. What you been eating? Chuletas fritas at La Mariposa. What? Fried pork chops at the Butterfly. You jerking me around? No. How are they? The pork chops? A little greasy. Pieces of meat stuck in your teeth, so you're flossing here on 11th Street after La Mary Pussy. La Mariposa, last of the Cuban Chinese restaurants. You Cubans support Castro? No, just flossing. Green string dangles from my right index finger. It looked like something else from the car. He shuffles back to black car, whispers in his partner's ear. Black car drifts off. Green string floats down to water, running black along the curb. Now, Minnie OPP read a poem by Neruda. He wrote another poem called The Fable of the Mermaid and the Drunks, where the mermaid emerges from the river, the drunks see her, begin cursing, spitting at her, and then she leaves. This is an updated version. It's called The Mermaid of the Fable of the Mermaid and the Starbuckers. In this case, the mermaid comes from the river, enters Starbucks, and no one notices after Pablo Neruda. All these Starbuckers were there inside when she entered nude. She came from the East River, she lost her way, eyes came from far away. Wended her way between hookers and bucks, no one noticed who was she, glided into Starbucks. Did they see? Gray faces, gray tables, white spaces, gray fables, smell of coffee, smell of money. Ringtone tinkled lovely Rita, someone seeking goddess Sita, fingers tapped blueberry, brains blogged strawberry, Twitter blogged iPhone, Tarragon, Swiss, gelato cone. Pointy head cyberspace, my space, your space, beyond time and face. Eyes glazed, laptop educated, stop and shop. Eyes Wi-Fi, the viral infection since July. Did they see? No one asked. Who was she? She did not know tears, she did not weep. She did not know dreams, she dared not sleep. She tried to imagine a pirouette. Did she forget? Did she forget? No one noticed. Who was she? Glided by. Did they see? She did not know words, she did not speak. Eyes were birds, white and meek. Arms were topaz, lips coral light. Eyes were birds stripped in flight. Silence twined her glistening flesh. Blindness blanked her golden breast. Glided by, who was she? No one noticed, did they see? Suddenly she left by that door. She entered the river gleaming, a white stone in the rain. Only hearing her refrain, without a backward glance, she drew a breath, swam toward never, swam toward death. Now this is another mythic figure from ancient Japanese and Chinese poetry. It's called Lotus Blossom Girl. Lotus Blossom Girl. In empty wooden chair, embracing lotus blossoms, a girl sits. Wounded goose hovers over mountain ridge, dripping blood. Old man rages along a lake, silhouettes floating in crimson current. She sits without stirring, the pose of our forgetting. The world a mirror, empty wooden chair cleaves lotus blossom girl. In a world underwater, weightless, the world belongs to the waters. Now this is another poem about a mythic figure, Erato, one of the 9 Greek muses. But if you look carefully, you could spot her walking around the city. I saw her get on the R train in Brooklyn. This is called Erato on the R train. She did not want her songs in water and soap. She believed in magnetism. She believed in air. She passed over the gap, ivy wreathing her hair. Assumed her mask, her pensive pose, the pose of our forgetting. Some shadows fell, some shadows rose, some doors opened, some doors closed. We paid our fare, none would dare approach her staff, pointing to the lyre, listen to her lyre, placed upon the pyre, plucking chords of fire. The coach scrolled through the black passage, the moon was gone. We scrolled new phases, spun new phrases, scanned new tricks, sadomaso dominatrix. The doors parted, she departed, none would follow, none would dare touch the strands of flaming hair, magnetic folds from her hair, pulsing static in the air. We assumed our pose, the mask of gestures, the frieze along the tracks, melded to the tunnel walls. Okay, I'm going to read 2 more poems. I'll try to make this as quickly as possible. This poem is called After the World Ends. Harold Camping predicted the world was going to come to an end on May 21st, 2011. He made $75 million doing this. The world didn't come to an end. So then he said it was going to come to an end October 21st, 2011. It didn't come to an end. He made another $75,000. Now I hear the world is going to come to an end on December 21st, 2012. This is an evangelical poem, After the World Ends. After the world ends, don't forget to make my bed. Be sure the cat is fed. Change your dress from green to red. Alert your neighbor what the Bible said after the world ends. After the world ends, we won't have to alert, defend, turn the wheel when the road bends, post the mail, receive, send, borrow, steal, lend, find your path or wend, duck or fend, break or mend, save or rend, steal or vend, abuse or tend. After the world ends, don't forget to bury the dead. Work hard to get ahead. You can trade gold for lead. You won't have to take your meds. You can wear nylons or peds. You won't have to listen to what I said. You can marry Osama or Ted. You can kill your husband, then re-wed. You can earn $1 million or Z after the world ends. Just as well the world ended. You can break what you just mended, abuse what you just tended, steal what you just lended, forget what you just intended, kill what you just offended, not steer when the road bended. Just as well the world ended. Our last poem is a finale. It's called In My Brief Time. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate the audience and the poets, wonderful poets they read tonight. In my brief time on the shores of light, shores of sound, shores of sight, I've seen the flint that snaps the spark, blaze of light that fades to dark. Is memory the screen that folds, the ocean that the wave unfolds? Are dreams the valley beyond the hill, or lies that cloud the slit moon chill? Do we come from black to black return, the flint that spark, the leaves that turn and fold in fires of the fall, shrivel in a dark recall? Yet I march whatever rendezvous, whatever swerve, false or true, dying sun, birds in flight, to shades that fold beyond the night. Thank you. Thank you so much to the audience, Cornelia St. Cafe, Robin Hirsch, Angela Berger, and the wonderful audience and poets. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.